best bet would be to go to Africa because you have the best chance.
Hold on.
So this came out of a conversation about Iran and China. That's what this came out of. And there is no those are two different races. Those people aren't African. Those people aren't Chinese. That's what I'm saying. So they completely ignored the power dynamic.
Iran is a nation.
Listen, hold on, Reverend. Let me speak to Reverend, guys. Hold on. Reverend, hold on. It's the proximity. It's also the trade routes that run just by nature by Iran. They don't have a lot of things in common, but they do have economic vested interests. Like, again, there's natural resources that Iran has that China wants, and vice versa. So they don't have
right, but that makes sense. That makes sense. But I'm saying race is. That's what I'm saying. They found something else.
Shit, as long as you can benefit each other one way or another. People put aside their bias and racism as long as you can make each other something. Money.
That was my point.
It's true, but the point is,
that was entirely my point.
How would it work from the proximity where Black Americans are to way across the other side of the world? There would have to be a huge benefit that's being provided. Why would Black Americans want to leave a country that they fucking built from the ground up?
Well, I remember I said 10%. I said 10% of us. All Jews don't live in Israel, right? But it exists for a purpose.
But Israel wasn't good. It wasn't a good idea to begin with.
I'm confused by this whole conversation because at the end of the day, Black Americans are Americans. The world don't fuck with y'all. People can't stand Americans. I'm sorry, not sorry. It's the truth. So what makes you give this is a dumb conversation. I'm sorry. What makes you think
it's like wanting business of someone, but you have no idea what you can offer them? That's basically what the conversation is about.
And that's the other thing. Countries go by their interests. So you, as a Black American, what are you going to go offer this country?
The first question was about them not standing us because we're Americans. So then I guess, with that viewpoint, we're at the door. Is what it is. So I don't think that I would be able to answer your question. But
they're literally changing death to America. You think your Black ass going to be like, oh, okay.
So now it is back to our race now, not our nationality.
I'm sorry.
I'm confused. All right, so that's that.
So you think China will give you what you want just because you're American? Is that what you're saying?
No. I didn't say just because that. I'm saying that every group of people, because we're Americans, whatever any group of Americans, you could swap us out for Latino. You could swap us out for anybody.
I heard the same thing she said, but for some reason, my understanding.
What would you offer them? What would you offer them? What would you offer China? Sell it.
Hold on. Stop talking. Just stop talking. You have to listen to what people are saying. Right? I heard the same thing she said, but my understanding of it is on completely opposite side of your understanding of it. She's not saying, just any Black person in America working an office job, what can you offer to China? She said, if Black people in America purchase a plot of land or territory in the Western Hemisphere. She said that.
Who's going to give up their side? Hold
on. Stop talking. I know you love to talk. Just hold on. So she said, if Black people purchase a parcel of land in the Western Hemisphere, what kind of deals can Black people make with China? Okay, you guys for some reason jumped all across that and went straight to, do a DNA test, go to Africa, or go to Africa, do some deals with Africa, go to Nigeria.
Okay, let me say this. The most valuable thing after money, not even money, after gold and the precious diamonds and shit like that, natural resources, is land.
No, information.
Land. You gather all the Black people who work for decades in the State Department, who work for the military industrial complex. You think they're not going to have some fucking information that these people ain't going to want to know? No serious country is going to let Americans come in and buy their land. And they don't give a fuck if it's Chinese American, Hispanic American, Black American. They're not going to come here.
There's African Americans.
Okay, and you know what? America
purchased land in Costa Rica.
And this is why
Bolivia, like a whole bunch of places.
And this is why America.
So there's already some land in Costa Rica.
Let me finish the goddamn statement. Shit.
Nobody wants to hear you, Rick. That's the point. Nobody wants to hear you.
Buying the land is easy.
You want to echo chamber. And I'm sorry.
There's already land in Costa Rica.
You Yeah.
Nobody.
Let me find.
Nobody.
Go back to you. So buying the land is the easy part. My question still stands. What were you offer China?
Let Rickson finish.
Thank you, Ace. With all due respect, like I was trying to say, if you're Asian American, Hispanic American, Black American, you're still American. So China is not going to let a group of Americans, black, purple, green, or whatever. Excuse me.
You're arguing something completely different than what she said.
That's what she was saying.
No, she said. I repeated what she said. Why do you keep ignoring that?
Just let him finish so he'll stop.
Nobody's going to take these fringe groups. First of all, in America, there's fringe groups that don't believe in the United States government. They're still American. Nobody's going to take these people seriously. Whoever has the idea to do that. It's just dumb.
All right, thank you so much for that.
So, Reverend, are you looking for
Thank you, Reverend. You're welcome.
Are you looking for land or are you looking for a country?
Hold on. Buying a
Land
land
mostly.
doesn't mean you own it. Doesn't mean you own the country. Doesn't mean you have influence. Doesn't mean anything like that. You just bought property. As long as you're allowed to do it as a foreigner, you're allowed to do it. But doesn't mean you have influence.
Well, not just that.
Anything.
You want some administrative control, like white people go into Africa and
You want a country.
They create,
But
they,
listen,
no. They
that's-
create administrative areas.
Yeah, but that's colonialism.
That makes no sense.
No, it's not.
So you buy the you buy the land.
Bro,
You
I
buy
told
the
you she's
land.
American. She doesn't get it.
You buy the land. You're all on the land now. You want to invite China to have a business
Right.
talk.
We got our
No, but
police
that
departments.
sounds like-
We got our court systems.
That sounds
We got our police
Zionist.
departments.
You sound like
court
Afrikaners.
systems,
You sound like
and
Afrikaners.
separate-
That sounds like Balfour Declaration. That's what the Rothschilds
Yeah,
with about 5% of land all of a sudden.
She sounds like Afrikaners. That's
Hey,
what they
she
messed up.
literally started the conversation by saying she wants to have her own
Yeah,
little Israel.
yes, I know the question. Yeah,
You guys are so good.
but it went down a different path. I don't know if Reverend started to like mitigate the point, maybe stepped away from it. I don't know, but that's where it started off.
Well, Reverend, are you FDA?
I can't answer your
or the
questions,
what?
Rickson. I don't think that I
Okay,
can.
somebody else answer for her. She must be FDA ADOS or one of those.
Well, Reverend, the reason I
Indians,
said,
this doesn't make no goddamn sense.
Reverend, the reason I said, based on what you're looking for, and the reason I say Africa, you don't have to be in the Western Hemisphere to have
No, but that's the desired
relationships with certain nations.
That's the desired place. Because we're already in the Western Hemisphere.
Problem is,
That's why-
Hold on, guys. It's like she's going. Hold on. It's like she's going to.
How come you can only understand what she's saying?
You guys, hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
Are you the whisperer?
That's why you guys.
But let me finish. Come on, guys.
Finish. You can barely hear it.
She's going to a Mercedes dealership and she's saying she wants a G-Class Mercedes. You guys are like, there's a Chevy dealership right across the street. Cadillac dealership right over here. She already set up the question where she wants territory in the Western Hemisphere and she wants to have relations with China. So those two important
Is she a
things, those two
country?
premises.
Is she a country?
She didn't say country. She said land.
What? This shit ain't making no
A land
sense.
doesn't make you.
How are you not
She said, Lee, you missed it. She said that hold on, Lee, you missed it. She said,
our own mini
no,
Israel.
she said that 10% of Black Americans do want to leave America and kind of establish something kind of like their own homeland. Sounds very Zionist. I don't know if you missed. She set that up.
She sounds like Afrikaners. That's what she sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. What's wrong with that?
She did say that.
And
What do you mean? What's wrong with that? So you wait a minute, Lee. Wait a minute, Lee. How?
Hold on. There's a bunch of
You agree with the
islands
Afrikaners?
right now. If people want to buy an island,
You
and stuff,
agree?
they're-
No.
Hold on,
it's a
one
yes or no
second.
question.
Lee, buying land. Okay, you
tell me
missed
what
it.
he's up to.
1 second. She said she also wants administrative control, their own police stations, schools, and then using that as a way to navigate some sort of power play within the country. It's kind of an invasion. It's weird. Like you're gonna go there. It's okay.
It's not called colonization. It really isn't. It's agreed upon. The nation agrees to it.
Guys,
You know, in New York, they have their own police stations. They just have their own police station,
that's
their
a
own
problem.
ambulances.
Is that China run as well?
What's wrong with it?
There's Chinese police stations too. There's these little
I
stuff
believe
all over the place. That's a
point. I
problem.
agree with you 100%. China's not having these issues. Only dumbass Americans have these dumbass issues. You're in a country. Why don't you strengthen the country? Why don't you build it here? You already spent all these centuries building the country. Now you're gonna go somewhere else, spend resources that the community doesn't even have, to make your own la la billy billy bum bum land. Like, are you serious? Like, I can't take account
Go ahead, Lee. They'll let you finish. And instead of talking to them, just talk to me,
I still want to know how.
Oh, yeah, because he agrees with you.
I still want to know how you're going to get China involved in this whole thing. But, like,
well, that's
you know what?
You guys missed the point.
By me asking how.
You guys missed Teddy. You missed the point. You missed the point. It's not about ethnicity, looking like the people, the culture. It's about where is it going to be more beneficial for me in terms of they're an emerging superpower. Where is it beneficial for me to align with what country to build my own community in? That's what it is. It could be China if Africa was moving. It could be anything. But the problem is this: you can live there as maybe get a citizenship, open up businesses if they allow, buy property and flourish. That's fine. But you can't go there and start to establish your own police station. Your own
not without permission. You're right.
You know what happened?
That's why it would be worked out.
One second. Reverend, you said that you want to be able to leverage. First you want to buy up land, then you want to have open up institutions that are race-based and whatever, Black American-based, and then use that as a leveraging power to get more from the government. Why would
No, I didn't say that. No, I said what would we have to use as leverage in the very beginning so we could everything would be agreed to. This would be that's what I'm saying.
But wait, hold on, Reverend. Why? Guys, you're supporting colonialism. You're supporting the Zionist idea.
You keep using that word, but I think you're determined. I don't think you understand
it. To a sovereign nation.
Let me say this, Ace.
That's not colonialism.
Do you know what happened
is taking it by
Excuse
force.
me, Riverland, 1 second. Do you know what happened with the black people? Do you know what happened with the black population in COVID and in China? As soon as shit got popped off, they kicked them out. So you think you're gonna spend all this money and resources, then think you're gonna be comfortable? As soon as something pops off, they're gonna blame your black ass.
Yeah,
this is the dumbest conversation I've heard.
Very racist during.
And not only China, also fucking what's the Ukrainian people? Ukrainian people, they even let black people go on the damn train. They kicked them out. So you think your black ass is gonna go to these countries and I have leverage because I'm American? Are you serious? What leverage do you have?
So Lee, if you can talk to me, please, and they'll let you finish. I appreciate it.
Okay, everyone be silent. Let these two have a conversation because we're clearly not understanding.
Thank you.
They understand each other. I guess Lee has the.
Rickson is black, but he has a limiting mindset. Teddy, I don't know if you're racist.
We're listening to what you just said. Lee, repeat what you just said. I didn't hear you.
You said you're black, but you have a limiting mindset. This is why this.
No, I'm street smart. Two different people. There's dumbasses and there's street smart.
Yeah, street smart means limited mindset. You're limiting yourself to the street.
Okay, well you go. I don't know if you're black, but go after country for land.
For the love of God, ignore him, please, like I have.
Go to North Korea. Ask them tell them you want land, so they come to you.
Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
So go to North Korea. Say you want land, so you put your black ass over here.
Bro, nobody cares about racism for you, man. You have a limiting mindset.
All right.
Okay. No, white supremacy is global.
You gotta take
inferiority.
White supremacy is global.
Take care of your inferiority complex.
Like, stop talking to him, Lee, please.
You found a cheerleader, Lee. You got a cheerleader.
Oh no.
There's I put some information in the chat about Liberia. I think they've done this already before.
I thought Lee was going to say
not
something
American.
about
They're
Costa
Liberian.
Rica. I don't know why people keep going to Africa. I don't know why.
I don't even know why we're fucking talking about this topic when this is not the fucking topic.
You said something about Costa Rica, Lee. That's why I was waiting for you to.
Anyway, y'all need to get a private room. Because I've been quiet for a while. Y'all going back and forth over this fucking nonsense.
You were saying something about an administrative area in Costa Rica.
Get a fucking room.
What do you guys think about chocolate chip muffin?
About what?
Chocolate chip muffins.
We're talking about something serious.
So let me tell you, can you guys tell you how this demon did? Reverend asked a question to Edward, and the way Edward was trying to explain it is that the reason why China is backing Iran and helping, because Reverend didn't know that at all, because she was like, is it Israel or whatever, is talking about the economic ties, the trade routes, etc. So from that question, Reverend got this from what I understand, this whole notion of, okay, well, if those two nations that are so different in culture, ethnicity, etc. can align, how can the Black Americans? That's why I went down that road. I'm trying to get off it. Then I went to religion. Oh my Lord.
Do you know what Chinese
government does? Do y'all know that Panama came from Colombia? It came from Colombia.
Kid organs, and you think you can go over there and get it?
It came from Colombia. They, carved out a piece. They carved out a piece of Colombia, and that's how you got the nation of Panama. But it wasn't originally. It didn't start off.
So you see what her plan is? Her plan is to go to these countries, ask for a little land, and then steal it. You see what I'm saying? Colonization. That's what she wants.
With the fucking guy, the fucking Palestinian.
Bro, she
that is fucking wild.
She literally started the conversation saying she wants to go have her mini Israel. That's literally how she started.
It was called a subdivision. It's called creating a subdivision.
Bro,
that's different from colonialism.
Everyone do it. Pull up China.
Did it already.
Reverend, you gotta understand. Not everybody eats chitlins.
That's what I was trying to. That's the word I was looking for, Ace. When you were saying it's colonialism.
Not everybody eats chitlins.
Creating a subdivision is a little bit different.
So how do you feel about the subdivision quote that Israel has created with Israeli settlers, the West Bank?
I think at this point, there can only be.
You're not done, Reverend. Hold on. It's still Palestinian land, so they haven't taken it over in the sense that now all of a sudden the world map it's Israel, right? Still Palestinian land, but they've gone and created a subdivision where they've gone through different means, taken homes, sat there. Now they have a poll. Now their army comes in. There's preference for the Israelis over the Palestinian community. What do you think about that? That sounds like a subdivision.
I think it's something that other organizations and nations, they can learn from it and not make the same mistakes. Look at what they went through, so you can.
But are you okay with that?
Well, so you don't run into the same problems. Avoid whatever it is. That's a great thing about history.
Hold on a second. But are you okay with Israel's actions?
Am I okay with Israel's actions? What actions?
Taking 700,000 illegal settlers within West Bank who just taken Palestinian homes and set up their subdivisions. They've changed the street names.
Well, obviously, I'm not talking about that. I don't think. Did they have permission to do that?
Fuck no.
Okay, well then, yeah, that has nothing to do with what I'm speaking about.
No, I don't. But you're talking about off topic.
That's how it started.
I'm bringing the topic back, okay, to the point of this group.
But Ace, you got to realize that's how that shit started. They're like, oh, we're friendly. We're gonna come here. The white people that went to South Africa. That's how it started. Now they got Afrikaners, their own land. They do all this fucked up shit. That would never work. What you saying, Riverland, is a fucking fantasy world.
It was done already. Liberia. Can y'all read up on Liberia? Jesus fucking God.
Yeah, that was a colony. That has nothing to do with
It was done already, though. It was done already. And the original people didn't like it. The indigenous people didn't like it.
Hey, Wednesday, was Panama a part of Costa Rica?
I don't know. I thought to check that out.
No, I said Colombia.
Becky, I hear you
I said it was part of. I said Grand Colombia, not Costa Rica.
Don't believe anything.
And on top of that, we live in the fucking 20th century, okay? Because of the way just everything is now, we're so more closer connected. Who the fuck is taking 14% of the population and going to another fucking continent? Who the fuck is doing that?
Adolf.
I don't know why you brought that up.
FBA's doing that.
This shit's crazy.
You can't make this shit up, man. This is a joke.
I actually agree with you, Rick said. For the first.
You know,
for the first time?
My ex used to always debate against Adolf because he's a Pan-African, right? And he was like, you know what? He's like, oh yeah, let's all just separate and go on one point so they can all just kill us at one time.
You can't argue with that. You know, one thing I realized, I used to argue with these dumbasses before a long time too. You can't argue with these people. These people are stuck on stupid. Let them keep on waiting for the reparations. I don't give a damn. You get it? You don't. I don't give a damn. Now they're talking about going to they're talking about one traditional government and paying for land. Like, what kind of dumbness is that?
Rick said
it's been done. Look at Liberia, and this is before after the Civil War. It's been done.
Rick said, but Liberia is different. Like I said, Liberia was created and they resettled former slaves in Liberia. That's not the same.
But Lee, what kind of sense does that? Listen to what you're saying, Lee.
About in 2025.
So somebody worked for this country. They not only they came for slaves, right? They so much sacrifice happened within the United States. Do you think it was just easy? Don't you think all blacks would have just left during that Liberia shit? Why do you think a lot of us stayed?
It wasn't offered to everybody. What are you talking about?
Rickson.
I think Pan-African is more valuable than isolation. Because when you're isolated, when you isolate yourself, it's easier for those who are in power, which is white supremacy, because white supremacy is all over the world, that can take you out. Pan-African is way better.
But like she was saying, she kept bringing up China, like the China man won't call her an N-word with the RDR and spit on her in 2000.
Steal her organs. They won't do that. They will steal her organs. Just like they're doing in Africa right now. They're stealing kids' organs.
So you guys are projecting, right? You're projecting your insecurities.
Lee, this world isn't Disney World and doody bum bum. Okay? We're talking the truth. We are talking the truth. This is not no fantasy world.
You're talking some bullshit from some.
Well, I'm talking bullshit. What is Israel doing right now? Is that bullshit?
Yes, because money and power. If you have money and power, people respect you. Don't care.
Wouldn't it be easier? Wouldn't
it be Ethiopian.
Wouldn't it be easier for Black Americans to invest in Black-owned businesses and do what other
that wasn't her question.
I'm not finished. Do what other ethnicities in the United States do, right? Just invest in stuff. Look what the Chinese do. They was hired within themselves. A lot of Latinos were hired within themselves, right? Wouldn't it be easier to do that than try to take 14% of a population and bring them to another continent where white supremacy is everywhere in all 7 continents?
Wednesday, that will never happen. Because within that 14%.
Don't try to explain, Lee.
You guys, guys, stop. Okay, Lee, let me see something. Guys, Rickson. To Lee's point, I do believe, and I've seen this, and I give many examples from just personal, whatever. When you have money, depends on what level of money, raise, color, all that shit goes out the door. Money talks before anything else, but that's at upper echelon. You can play in that league. I'm telling you, race means nothing when you're playing with a certain amount of, either you have access to something, some sort of privilege, something that you have the other person wants. It usually has to do with some sort of business money expansion. That's true. However, the people that are going to be going to, let's say, the whole idea of China and going there and taking their money and that.
No, so anybody was born in China.
Wait, hold on, Reverend. That population that wants to leave, these are this 10 to 15% of Black Americans who do want to leave and find somewhere in the world to
That's the whole population.
This 10 to 15% of Black people is what she's saying, Black Americans. If they have an immense amount of
14%.
Well, listen, she's saying 14% of the full Black population.
Of the 14%.
Yes, not the entire population of America. But listen, those people that
Lee, where are you from?
If they were, hold on, wait, Lee, Rickson, do you not hear me? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Those people
do
have money, right? That percentage, they can play anywhere. They don't need to go establish anything that's safe for them or just for them. They can do it. But it's usually the population that struggles with certain things because of many things that set up in America. That group is what I'm guessing what wants to leave, and what is going to be their bargaining power? That's my question.
Even the Jews couldn't do it. Without Israel, the Jews would be...
Wait. Let me answer. I'm just wondering what Lee's perspective is.
He's agreeing with whatever the...
No, I gave him a different perspective.
This guy is a tyrant on this stage, and he's not stopping.
Just like your PTR.
Yeah, earlier you were talking about like Zionism and stuff like that. The problem isn't Jews relocating to the Middle East. The problem is relocating and then trying to establish Jewish supremacy. Right? This is not the scenario she's laying out. If Jews came to Palestine and they did purchase land, they ended up purchasing 6% of the land and then stealing the rest of the 90%, right? And killing people, destroying the environment.